First tonight in Our News Live at 7. Case closed. A home was restored after having thousands of dollars worth of furniture allegedly stolen and sold online by an evicted tenant. Plus, Acting Director of Social Services calls for laws to be strengthened to protect the elderly, just one day after the shocking news that a man was sentenced to 9 years for a string of rapes, including an 83-year-old woman. And trash or treasure? In this week's Sustainability First, we look at the future of waste management infrastructure and how it could help tackle our food security woes. And then in Our News at 7:30, the major hurricane on the move and how Bahamians in Georgia are bracing for potential impact. All that and more as Our News Live at 7 starts now. Welcome to Our News Live at 7, and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Marlena Leonard, in for Candino Knowles. An Eastern New Providence homeowner is praising police for closing the case and returning thousands of dollars worth of furniture that was allegedly stolen and sold online by an evicted tenant. Our Joshua Williams was at the station the moment he got his property back and has the heartwarming story in this report.
Tables, sofas, and kitchen appliances were among some of the items returned to homeowner Trevor Knowles days after they were allegedly stolen. He alleges he rented a home to someone who turned out to be a thief. While Knowles identifies the suspect as a tenant, police would only confirm they are looking for suspects in this ongoing investigation.
Yeah, it's just crazy. I mean, you know, we bought all kinds of brand new stuff for the tenant, and he just took it upon himself to take everything. So when we went into the home, it was just mind-blowing, absolutely mind-blowing.
Knowles describes the initial shock he felt when he met his home empty.
The shirt that I'm wearing says it all right? You have to have faith. A lot of people want to take things on their own and not do things legally, but it does prove that if you do things in the right way and you believe in God, things will come back.
But that's not all. Knowles alleges the items that are worth $13,000 were sold for just $2,000 online. Police confirming the crime occurred and that they were able to crack the case. Officers from the Elizabeth Estates Police Station were able to find the furniture just 3 days after it was reportedly stolen. Knowles says he's forever grateful to those officers. Mr. Knowles also had this word of advice and caution for other homeowners.
Take pictures of everything. Color photos of every single item in the home and vet the person, okay? Vet them and make sure they have a job here on the island. This guy didn't have a job here on the island. He was working from a laptop for a company abroad, and that was a mistake on our part. We didn't vet them properly.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
A 55-year-old man was killed after he was struck by a car in northern New Providence early Wednesday morning. Police say the pedestrian was struck by a car around 3:15 a.m. near Madeira and Montgomery Streets. He died hours later in hospital. Very few details are being released on the case, but police say investigations are ongoing. And one day after the shocking news that a man was sentenced to 9 years for a string of rapes, including an 83-year-old woman, Acting Director of Social Services Charlemagne Fernandez says laws need to be strengthened to protect the elderly against instances like this. Just this week, 22-year-old Joel Strawn pleaded guilty to rape, housebreaking, 4 counts of armed robbery, and assault with intent to rape. Fernandez says better care should be given to the elderly.
We need to look at what is on our books now and see what we can do to strengthen them. It'll take a collective effort, certainly. Now, I'm not aware of a law that specifically speaks to sexual offenses against senior citizens, but we do have the Sexual Offenses Act that addresses sexual offenses in general. And maybe it's time for us to look at that. Seniors, and then I'd add persons with disabilities and children, anyway, the more vulnerable persons in our community.
Hurricane season has historically brought devastation to the region, and this week, the United States is the most recent country facing a monster storm. In this report, our Berthany McDermott takes a look at the most devastating storms in U.S. history. Let's take a look.
As Floridians brace for Hurricane Helene, it's not unusual for systems like this to develop, devastating the region. Back in 2017, Hurricane Maria severely impacted Puerto Rico, destroying infrastructure and leaving many without power for months. Its destruction claimed 2,982 lives and caused $91.6 billion in damages. 2017 also saw the destruction of Hurricane Irma, nicknamed Armageddon. Irma ripped through the Caribbean and Florida with record-breaking power. It killed around 134 people and caused $72.2 billion in damage. 5 years earlier in 2012, it was another deadly hurricane. Hurricane Sandy made landfall near Atlantic City. It ravaged 24 states with 110 miles per hour winds, leaving parts of New York City flooded and without power. The storm killed 233 people and caused $65 billion in damage. In 2005, it was Hurricane Katrina. This hurricane has been recorded as one of the most catastrophic storms. It flooded New Orleans due to failed levees, left 1,833 dead, and caused $161 billion in damage. The hurricane also triggered 33 tornadoes. In the 1900s, it was the Galveston hurricane, the deadliest natural disaster in U.S. history. This storm decimated Galveston, Texas, leaving up to 12,000 people dead and destroying 10,000 homes. Damages total $30 million at the time. Reporting for Our News, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Thanks for that, Berthany. Well, it's time now for your first look at temperatures. Meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Greg?
Yeah, thanks, Marlene, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. Much improved conditions around the islands, even though it was a bit on the breezy side. Temperatures managed to get up into the 90s. We are into the upper 80s right now. 88 is our current temperature outside our studios. A few clouds. It is breezy outside. South-southeast winds at 17 miles per hour. Feels like temperature is at 97. Temperatures around the islands right now. It's 87 in Freeport, Marsh Harbor, Abaco, as well as in Allenstown, Bimini. We pick up 88s, Nicholstown, Andros, Great Harbor Key, over in Governor's Harbor. Here in the capital, also 88. Central Bahamas, 88. Kemps Bay, 86s. Arthurstown, Cat Island, Georgetown, the Exumas, Cobintown, San Salvador. Deadman's Key, 87, and into the southeast Bahamas, 86 in Duncantown, Ragged Island, Colonel Hill, Cricket Island, Providenciales, Turks and Caicos Islands, Matthewtown, Inagua. Delectable Bay, my favorite spot, you guys are 87, and over in Abraham's Bay, temperature right now is a comfortable 85 degrees. Taking a look at our satellite radar composite, we have been spared actually with quite a bit of those rain bands. Most of those are moving across the Florida area. We still had a couple of isolated showers across our area, but most of those showers were quick in passing. But the winds have been a problem for us across most of the northwest Bahamas as well as portions of the central Bahamas. But Helene is still out there generating quite a bit of showers and thunderstorms across the Florida area. The system has the potential to strengthen even further to a Category 3. It is expected to make its way into the Florida Big Bend this evening, and it should reach almost near Category 4 status by the time it gets there. That's your first look at weather. Stick with us. A look at your extended forecast is still to come.
Still to come on Our News, in tonight's edition of Sustainability First, we explore how incorporating composting infrastructure could help turn our trash to treasure. And Evangelistic Temple dedicating the month of September to the expression of worship. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a Live Fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you with?
I heard you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Elisha Obed's story was one of triumph and ultimately one of tragedy. But on this day, we celebrate another step on his climb to the top of the ladder in the world of pro boxing. On September 26, 1969, a 17-year-old Obed, born Everett Ferguson, defeated Winston Green via unanimous decision in an 8-round bout. It was the 11th consecutive win on an unbelievable 47-fight winning streak that spanned nearly a decade. After an unblemished amateur career, he turned pro at just 14 years old and went on to fight in 120 bouts. He lost early in his career in December 1967, but didn't lose again until June 1976. Along that winning streak, there was a shady draw in 1974, and of course, possibly the greatest accomplishment in Bahamian sports, still unmatched to this day. Obed won the World Boxing Council's light middleweight title in 1975. That was back then. Here's what's on the lineup for Our Sports tonight. Coach Yo and Ole Miss are headed back to the Bahamas for Bahama Hoops.
Playing against top-tier competition. I think our team program is prepared to start to play more competitive teams early on instead of waiting until conference play. And I'd rather us get tested now than when we get in January.
Texas Rangers prospect Sebastian Walcott receives another postseason award, a look at roster construction for the upcoming Caribbean Cup. We update our conferences headed to the Bahamas Bowl. That'll do it for Our Sports at 7. Stay tuned to Our News at 7:30 for details on these stories and more.
When Our News comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world as the death toll in Lebanon climbs after Israel targeted a southern suburb of Beirut for the third time in a week. Plus, New York City Mayor Eric Adams becomes the first sitting New York City mayor to face charges after an alleged long-standing conspiracy.
It's Whopper Wednesday.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. Israeli warplanes launched a new airstrike targeting a Hezbollah commander in the southern suburb of Beirut. Footage released by Israel Defense Forces allegedly shows the moment of the strike. Lebanon state news agency NNA said 3 missiles were fired into a residential apartment in the neighborhood in the capital of Beirut. Today's attack was the third to have targeted the southern suburb of Beirut in a week. Israel has pounded Lebanon since Monday morning, killing at least 640 people and injuring over 2,500 others, according to figures released by the health ministry. New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been charged with 5 counts in an alleged long-standing conspiracy connected to improper benefits, illegal campaign contributions, and an attempted cover-up, according to a sweeping indictment unsealed Thursday morning. 64-year-old Adams faces 1 count of wire fraud, 1 count of conspiracy, 2 counts of solicitation of a contribution from a foreign national, and 1 count of bribery, according to the indictment, charges that expose the mayor to significant prison time if convicted. Adams, who was elected in 2021, is the first sitting New York City mayor to ever face charges. Hurricane Helene brought strong winds, rough waves, and heavy rain to parts of Florida as it barreled through the Gulf of Mexico toward the state. The Category 3 storm is on track to intensify quickly into a dangerous Category 4 hurricane by the time it makes landfall in Florida, with official forecasts and warnings describing its likely impacts as catastrophic, life-threatening, and unsurvivable. The governors of Florida, Georgia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Virginia have declared states of emergency ahead of the storm's landfall. Well, last week we introduced you to Better Earth, a compostable utensil and food container company whose items you've probably come across already if you're a takeout fan. In tonight's edition of Sustainability First, we'll tell you all about their efforts to innovate our waste management systems and how it all comes full circle.
Bahamas First, putting sustainability first for our people and our environment. What's first for you and the planet comes first for us.
Better Earth may be a compostable food packaging company, but their focus continues after you've finished what's on your plate. Better Earth CEO Joseph Bild says there are a number of ways they're hoping to improve the local waste management chain.
Looking at interesting opportunities like public-private partnerships where we can collaborate with various resorts throughout the islands, collaborate with local governments to bring in better waste infrastructure, better waste management, and then also help educate government, help educate purchasing and procurement professionals in order to stop bringing in the plastics.
The need for a cleaner waste cycle is something Better Earth sales consultant Isadora Simon knows all too well.
So it's important for me, for us, as a country, for our environment.
They're particularly enthusiastic to get larger scale composting infrastructure in the country.
Right, so instead of bringing plastics in, they're going to go straight to landfill. We can then partner with government to make sure that we're bringing, developing more composting infrastructure.
It's all been part of the company's circular focus, and one of those issues has been a hot topic for the country lately: food security.
Just having conversations with some local people yesterday about agriculture here and the need for more local agriculture, how everything is imported and everything is very expensive. So if we want a healthy community, we have to have affordable food, accessible food, right? Better Earth focuses on accessibility, price, performance, scale. You have to have price accessible products.
Reporting for Our News and reminding you to put sustainability first, I'm Marlena Leonard. Coming up in Our News at 7:30, how Bahamians in Georgia are bracing for the potential impact of major Hurricane Helene as it moves towards Florida. And our Sasha Lightborn speaks to a top 40 under 40 recipient about what the award means and the work it took to get there. That's coming up when Our News returns.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussion. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This video needs to show us on a different scale. It has to be
Extra. What, eh?
Hey, Quay.
Hey, what you saying?
Where you live?
I read you on the bus stop with my friend.
Okay, so we want to shoot this video, and it's gonna be extra.
All right, Jim. I can just come to you. All right. I need your 25 cents no more.
We've all been focused on hurricanes lately, keeping a close eye on Hurricane Helene, but almost 100 years ago today, Bahamians faced the aftermath of another storm that left a lasting impact on the islands. On this day in Bahamian history in 1929, the 1929 Bahamas hurricane moved out of the country after devastating New Providence and Andros. 73% of homes and businesses in Nassau were destroyed, and it prompted the switch from sponging to tourism as the #1 industry. For the full recap of Today in History, you can watch it on ournews.bs. Well, anxious to encourage citizens to strengthen their personal relationship with God, the leadership team and members of Evangelistic Temple have dedicated the month of September to the expression of worship, consisting of an evening training session that took place this past Wednesday and a night of worship tomorrow night beginning at 7 p.m. Minister of Music Dexter Kirkala tells us this is not the first year the church has hosted such events, and they've invited international worship leaders to minister to those in attendance.
One of our pillars is worship, and we've had a lot of worship events. We actually, in 2023, had a night of worship with Pastor William McDowell in a One Sound conference, and so we're definitely known for one of our pillars being worship.
This year, the guest artist is Michael Bethany. He says he hopes attendees leave the sanctuary receiving a genuine encounter of God's presence.
I want people to have greater encounters away from the church than they have at the church, because I really want them to see that God desires to dwell with them, not just in their pastor or the church or the worship leader with all the music, but God loves them.
Coming up in Our News at 7:30, how Bahamians in Georgia are bracing for the potential impact of major Hurricane Helene as it moves towards Florida. And our Sasha Light. Well, to watch that story again and for all of today's top stories, you can visit ournews.bs. That does it for Our News at 7. Joining us now is our Italia Hall with her latest headlines. Italia?
Thanks so much, Marlena. Well, Bahamians in Georgia brace for Hurricane Helene. The education minister is hopeful students at Uriah McPhee Primary School can return to classes next week. And Bahamas Striping donates to the AIDS Foundation. Here are your latest headlines. A close eye on Hurricane Helene. Our Delvardo Emmanuel speaks with some Bahamian students living in Georgia as they prepare for the storm. But first, 3 men shot outside an apartment complex in the capital in critical condition. Plus, an update on the Uriah McPhee Primary School. The education minister reveals a firm has been engaged to clean the air and surfaces following a fire at the institution. And later, the Bahamas Striping group of companies makes a mega donation to the Bahamas AIDS Foundation. We'll tell you all about the 5-year commitment when Our News Live at 7:30 returns.
Bahamas, are you ready? Keep the vibe alive. Music group, along with Alpha Sounds, present the best of the best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded. This is the biggest one-day all-Bahamian concert of the year. Featuring KB, D-Mac, Abby, Mama D, Fan Shaw, Shine 242, The Falcon, and more. Mark your calendars. It's going down November the 2nd at Super Club Breezes Ground. Tickets now available at BahamasEtickets.com or both Beauty Shack locations. General admission $60. VIP, Skybox, and Skypods also available. For more info, call 394-0819 or email keepthevibealive242@gmail.com. Experience the magic once again with more legends for one night only. Come party with us November 2nd at Best of the Best. Rake and Scrape Explosion Reloaded.
I love my EV. I am Generation E.
I am Generation E. I am Generation E.
And I am Generation E.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as the environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound.
Welcome to our news. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm Natalia Hall. As Hurricane Helene churns across the Atlantic, Bahamians living in Georgia are staying vigilant, bracing for what's expected to be a major storm. It's expected to bring heavy rainfall, flooding, and strong winds. Our Delvardo Emmanuel spoke with several Bahamians in Georgia.
It's been raining consistently the same from this morning. It's getting a bit gloomier to me. So that's why we're trying to hurry up, go in the store, get our stuff, and then lock down.
Hurricane Helene is making its way north, and forecasters have projected that the storm will likely make landfall along Georgia or South Carolina coastline within the next 48 hours. For many Bahamians in Georgia, the storm evokes memories of previous hurricanes that ravaged the Bahamas, like the most recent Hurricane Dorian in 2019. Vanda Douglas is a Bahamian living in Atlanta. Douglas and her family have already started making preparations for the storm.
We've stocked up on a lot of essentials, water, canned goods. Currently, it's raining, so my brother and I were on the road. We're just about to get our last-minute stuff, such as candles and battery-operated flashlights. Some of my friends that aren't from the Caribbean, they're very nonchalant about it.
Shanique Wims is a 17-year Georgia resident, and she says while she plans on bunkering down at home, she's also ready to evacuate if she has to.
The car is loaded up on gas in the event of an evacuation order, considering that the entire state is expected to be impacted. Not sure where exactly people will be directed to, but thankfully I have family nearby in Tennessee and North Carolina that I can probably go ahead and run in with.
Both women say they're keeping a close eye on the storm and plan to be as prepared as they can be as Hurricane Helene continues to trek north. Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvardo Emmanuel.
All right, thanks so much, Delvardo. Well, Helene is the 8th named storm of the Atlantic hurricane season and comes weeks after Francine made landfall as a Category 2 in Louisiana on September 11th. The storm is forecast to be one of the most dangerous storms in recent history to hit the coast of Florida. But how did we get here? Our Megan Shepard takes a look at Hurricane Helene's history.
Helene formed in the Caribbean Sea on Tuesday as a tropical storm. This after bringing heavy rains and big waves to the Cayman Islands. Schools were forced to close and residents pumped water from flooded homes. 2 Disney cruises made last-minute plans to their itineraries after storm activity from Hurricane Helene and civil unrest forced the ocean liners to remain at sea. In Cuba, the government preventatively shut off power in some communities as waves as high as 16 feet slammed Cortes Bay. Forecasters warned the storm could strengthen into a major hurricane as it moved toward the southeast United States. On Tuesday afternoon, President Joe Biden approved a Florida state of emergency declaration. The National Weather Service in Tallahassee, Florida, urged people to take potential evacuations seriously, emphasizing that the anticipated 10 to 15 feet of surge is not survivable. And as predicted, Hurricane Helene developed into a Category 1 hurricane on Wednesday. The storm then strengthened overnight Thursday into a Category 2 hurricane. About 24 hours later, it increased to a Category 3 storm as it began lashing Florida. As early as this morning, hurricane warnings and flash flood warnings extended into south-central Georgia. The governors of Florida, Georgia, the Carolinas, and Virginia have all declared emergencies in their states. Tropical Storm Helene also prompted NASA and SpaceX to bump today's planned astronaut launch to at least Saturday. Reporting for Our News, I'm Megan Shepard.
All right, thanks for that, Megan. And of course, we will continue to follow the storm. Well, a shooting has left 3 men nursing gunshot wounds after they were shot while hanging outside a Wilson Track apartment. Police say the victims were sitting on the wall of an apartment complex just after 8 last night when a light-colored Japanese vehicle pulled up. Gunmen jumped out and began shooting. Emergency medical services was called and transported 2 18-year-olds and a 26-year-old to hospital. They're all currently in critical condition. Now, police are asking anyone with information about this incident to call telephone numbers 911, 919, the Criminal Investigation Department at telephone number 502-9991. Well, a man whose negligence caused the death of his girlfriend's baby has been allowed to remain on bail pending sentencing. Kirkwood Thompson pleaded guilty to manslaughter by negligence in relation to the January 16, 2023 death of Tanisha Milford when he appeared before Justice Janine Weish Gomez. The baby received fatal injuries after she reportedly fell out of her car seat when Thompson swerved to avoid a collision. Later that day, she became unresponsive while at home and died in hospital. Thompson's lawyer, Rizard Humes, has requested a probation report to help the court determine the sentence. Now to an update on the Uriah McPhee Primary School following a fire incident this week. Classes were dismissed early on Tuesday after a fire broke out in a corner of a classroom on the school's campus. Education Minister Gladys Hannah Martin reveals a firm was engaged to clean the air and surfaces, working throughout the night to expedite the process. She also notes the building's unique structure posed some challenges for cleanup crews,
because it doesn't have windows, so the air conditioning complicates the smoke issue, which was, even though it was isolated, it permeated throughout the entire building. And so they're working on that, and they expect by Friday to complete that.
The Education Minister confirms in the meantime students are continuing their education virtually.
But what the director is seeking, if it looks like it's going to be in any shape or form prolonged, to find a location, church, wherever it is, to cause for them to continue in virtual, but to be in a face-to-face mode in the process.
Well, as we continue to keep a close eye on Hurricane Helene, meteorologist Greg Thompson is in the Weather Center with your first look at weather. Greg.
Yeah, thanks, Natalia, and a happy Thursday evening, everybody. A breezy and warm evening setting up for us on the outside. Temperature right now into the upper 80s. 88 degrees is our current temperature, few clouds, and it is breezy. Your winds are out of the southeast at 17 miles per hour, and that's making it feel like a very warm 97 degrees on the outside. Satellite radar composite. Some rain bands still affecting the westernmost portions of the Bahamas, Bimini, Grand Bahama, the Andros area, but the bulk of the weather staying across Florida. Hurricane Helene is still moving towards the north. Very well-defined eye. Showers and thunderstorms will continue to move towards the north, scraping the northwest Bahamas, but the winds have been a problem for us today. Those winds have been up to 20 to 25 knots across the northwest and central Bahamas. Those winds will continue to relax, though, as Helene continues to pull away from us, and we are looking for some much improved conditions for tomorrow. That's a quick check on conditions around the islands. Stick with us to look at your extended forecast and the tropics still to come.
Still to come on our news, the Bahamas Striping Group of Companies makes a mega donation to the Bahamas AIDS Foundation, plus several organizations on Grand Bahama partnering to give back to those in need. The story when our news returns. Stay with us.
I'm Michaela Kerr. I'm an 18-year-old freshman at the University of the Bahamas, and I'm a computer science major. I'm also the NT Corporation's Youth Ambassador for the Environment, and I'm an environmentalist. My journey as an environmental advocate began with a simple yet profound realization that our environment is degrading right in front of my eyes. And being NT's Youth Ambassador for the Environment means that my words and my actions hold the power to help change the environment and the world around me. I find it exciting that I can be a student, live my life, and use my words and my voice to change the environment and the world around me. Most times I think it's a privilege. It's our environment and it's our generation to own. I don't think as a young person that there's anything more rewarding than being a part of bringing awareness. I'm Michaela Kerr, and I'm making a difference in my own words.
Bahamas Power and Light Company Limited looks forward to helping our customers eliminate wasted energy. Energy conservation is the decision and practice of using less energy. Energy efficiency means using less energy to perform the same task, unplugging appliances not in use. That's energy conservation. Replacing an old refrigerator, washing machine with a new model, adding insulation to the attic and walls of a home. That's energy efficiency. People conserve to gain more control over their energy bill and to reduce demand on the Earth's natural resources. Take this journey with us as we build for better. BPL.
Grand Bahama is home to a unique economic arrangement, with that arrangement between government and the Grand Bahama Port Authority under scrutiny as tensions persist.
It's not our direct responsibility to carry out these other things that people think we should be doing.
We need this to be dealt with quicker than quicker and sooner than sooner.
I have a vision for Grand Bahama, and my vision is actually bigger than my grandfather's ever was.
Watch City in Focus, the story of Freeport with Italia Hall, starting August 7th, only on RTV.
The Bahamas AIDS Foundation receiving $100,000 over the next 5 years from the Bahamas Striping Group of companies. For those of you that don't know, the foundation's mission is to provide education and awareness to assist in prevention, treatment, and cure of residents while providing support for people living with HIV/AIDS. And with about 4,000 people nationwide living with HIV, 93% knowing their status, the foundation's president, Army Ford says donations like this go a long way.
Together, we are breaking down barriers and making a difference in the lives of those living with HIV and affected by its impact on our country. Thank you for believing in our mission and for helping us to continue this vital work. We trust that there are other corporate companies out there who will see your humanitarian efforts and aspire to do the same.
Bahamas Striping President Otario Mitchell says the work the foundation carries out makes them an easy choice when it comes to funding community efforts.
When you look at what the AIDS Foundation does in our country, we have been battling with HIV for some time, and even though I'm told that it's getting better, there's still a lot more work to be done. So we, a part of our 15-year anniversary, decided to partner with the AIDS Foundation to lend a helping hand.
Such a great effort. Well, 2 civic organizations joining forces to support families in need on Grand Bahama. The Rotary Club partnering with the Kiwanis Club of Freeport for a major community give back, with members of the Lions Club and Lodge Hall also lending their support. This past weekend, they provided clothing for all ages along with food and drinks near the back of town community. Kiwanis Club President Marsha Cooper highlighting the strong support from the community, while Secretary Jane Wilson expressed gratitude to corporate Grand Bahama for their contributions.
We normally give back in the community all the time. We want to make, actually this board year, the end of this month is our end of year. So we're finishing our year, and so we wanted to just reach back out in the community, let the community know that we are still here.
Our motto is serving the children of the world, so we just want to be a beacon of light to the whole community, the whole family.
And these club members say it was their duty to come together and give back.
Everyone pulled together and donated, and they made it happen today. Collaboration.
Our members are working along with all the service clubs that are here today to do what is our goal to do, is to help our community.
It's now time for tonight's Financial Market Minute, brought to you by RF, your local investment bank. This has been your Financial Market Minute. To explore the best performing mutual funds in the Bahamas, visit our website at www.rfgroup.com.
Coming up in sports, Coach Joe and Ole Miss are headed back to the Bahamas this fall, and another postseason award for Sebastian Walcott.
And Greg is back with your extended weather forecast when our news continues.
Hey y'all, are you ready to be inspired? I am thrilled to announce that Inspire Her 2024 is coming, and it's going to be bigger and better than ever. Join us at the luxurious Atlantis Hotel Paradise Island on October 10th for an evening filled with inspiration, empowerment, and connection. The evening session promises to offer exclusive networking opportunities and transformative discussions. We invite everyone to attend and to be part of this incredible gathering. Hear from leading women activists, entrepreneurs, CEOs, thought leaders, and more as they share their stories, insights, and wisdom. Tickets are now available for purchase through the Alive Events app. Corporate packages and vendor opportunities are also available, providing a unique platform for businesses to showcase their support and connect with a diverse audience. Grab your girlfriends, mark your calendars for October 10th, and join us at the Inspire Her 2024 Women's Conference. See you there.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had.
Welcome to Our Sports, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. Whether it's for community outreach at a camp, an exhibition, or for the games that count, Yolette McPhee-McEwen never misses an opportunity to bring her Ole Miss women's basketball program to the Bahamas. Ole Miss will be the highlight for Bahamian fans on the Thanksgiving slate for the Bahama Hoops women's tournaments this fall.
I just want to thank, my administration for understanding that, how important it was for us to be able to continue not only to grow our brand, because we will be on the national stage, but also for our young ladies to just have an incredible experience that when they talk about their experience at Ole Miss.
Coach Yo's squad, ranked number 24 in the nation by On3 Sports, will compete in the Continental Tire Bahamar Women's Championship November 25th and 27th at the Bahamar Convention Center. Ole Miss will face the Boston College Eagles on the 25th at 5 p.m., followed by the number 3 Yukon Huskies against Oregon State at 7:30 p.m. On the 27th, the consolation game will take place at 5 p.m., with the championship game set to begin at 7:30 p.m. Ole Miss recently hosted its first official practice of the 2024-25 season. A breakout season for Sebastian Walcott has earned him yet another postseason award. Walcott was named the Texas Rangers Minor League Player of the Year across all levels, from rookie ball to AAA. Just last week, he was also named a South Atlantic League All-Star. In 118 games with the Hickory Crawdads in High A, he hit .261 with 10 home runs, 49 RBI, and 26 stolen bases. He also led the league with 50 extra base hits and a league-leading 9 triples. At the AA level, he joined the Frisco Rough Riders for a late-season playoff run. In his brief time with the club, Walcott hit .348 with 3 doubles, slugged .609 with 1 homer. Team Bahamas hopes to field one of its most competitive teams ever for the upcoming Caribbean Cup, but there could be a few administrative issues. Minor leaguers receiving clearance from their respective franchises.
One of the things that we must realize, this team will be comprised of 90% of our professional ball players. The process with that is we have to identify them, contain their interest, and then we have to then reach out to the professional clubs, because they have to be released to participate on any of their national teams. And that's not for the Bahamas, that's for any pro ball player that plays within the professional ranks and they want to represent their country.
Every Thursday, we update you on the best from Conference USA and the Mid-American Conference as teams from both leagues continue to vie for spots in the Bahamas Bowl. In CUSA, the Liberty Flames remain undefeated at 4-0 after a win over Bahamian Amari Archer and the East Carolina Pirates. The Flames have never appeared in the Bahamas Bowl and received 4 votes in this week's AP Top 25 poll. Western Kentucky defensive back Devontae Matthews picked off 2 passes in the red zone in his team's 26-21 win over Toledo. Over in Maction, Buffalo, the 2019 Bahamas Bowl winners, defeated number 23 Northern Illinois 23-20. Buffalo linebacker Sean DeLoach had a career-high 19 tackles, 4.5 for a loss, and an interception. How quickly can we get him to the Dolphins? That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS. With Coach Yo and Ole Miss headed back to the Bahamas, and as a Kentucky alumni, it's a reminder that SEC beef lasts forever. But I'll let it go for her. Back to the studio.
Still ahead on our news tonight, a Grand Bahama native receives a 4-year scholarship at the University of the Bahamas thanks to an initiative by Deltec Bank. And our Sasha Lightborn speaks with a top 40 under 40 recipient. The story when our news continues. Stay with us.
My name is Troy Williams. I've been a live fiber customer since March 2024. The installation process was seamless, effortless, and extremely fast. The gentlemen that came to the installation were very helpful, reliable, very knowledgeable, and the time allocated to do the installation was shorter than the time specified. Yeah, the previous provider I had, I noticed that the internet speed actually had intermittent on the services, so I was very grateful that the live fiber was available in my area. Once I was able to make the switch, my service and everything I needed was satisfied. My favorite feature would actually be being able to add any apps from the Play Store. It's just basically making any dumb TV a smart TV. I do a lot of back-end support, engineering support, helping clients working remotely when I'm from home. The internet is a very important aspect of my job and my life. My name is Trey Williams, and the future is home with a live fiber.
When hurricanes and emergencies strike, timely information can save lives. That's why Alive Business brings you bulk SMS messaging, your essential tool for staying informed and safe. Imagine having critical updates and safety tips delivered right to your phone, anytime and anywhere. With bulk SMS messaging, you can send real-time alerts and updates and timely notifications. When every second counts, count on Alive Business bulk SMS messaging. For more information, contact the experts. Are you ready for the stormy season? Don't wait until the storm clouds gather. Contact the experts at Alive Business today and let us help you prepare for this hurricane season. For a limited time only, you can get 50% off our Bahamas Cloud, the ultimate solution to secure your data and communications, ensuring they're accessible even in the worst of weather conditions. Don't let the storm catch you off guard this season. Stay ahead of the game with Bahamas Cloud from Alive Business.
This is our news. Thanks for sticking with us. We are tracking 4 systems actually in the tropical Atlantic system off the African coast that the National Hurricane Center is continuing to monitor. Has a high chance for formation. Will stay out in the open Atlantic. Then we have newly formed Isaac that formed earlier today. This system is out there well towards the north into the north central Atlantic. Will race off towards the north and northeast. Should be a problem for any landmass. We are likely to call this one a fish storm as it continues to move towards the northeast. We have Helene in the Gulf of Mexico, but just to the south of that, the National Hurricane Center also watching the potential for development of a system down in the southwestern Caribbean, actually where Helene came from, and we'll continue to watch that. But Helene is now up to a Category 3 system, continuing to race off towards the north. It's going to be making landfall sometime late tonight, and that system will continue to spread some showers and thunderstorms, rain bands across Florida. We could see 1 or 2 isolated showers across the extreme northwest Bahamas with this system, but as that system continues to pull away from us, winds will be relaxing, so we are bringing those advisory conditions across the northwest and central Bahamas down to caution, and boaters could possibly see some much improved conditions for the weekend. Taking a look at the future forecast, most of the moisture associated with that will stay across Florida, but we will have some trailing moisture across the northwest Bahamas through Friday, and that is likely continuing to Saturday, so we could keep some showers in the forecast during that time frame. Boating forecast, northwest and central Bahamas tonight to tomorrow. We're asking you to exercise caution. Tonight, the winds are starting to fall off. They will be out of the southeast to south, 15 to 20 knots, gusting high at times, seas running 4 to 7 feet over open waters. Low tide is at 10:43 tonight. Your high tide takes place at 4:36 in the morning. For the southeast Bahamas, caution flag in place for you guys down there as well. Winds will be east-southeast, 15 to 20 knots, seas running 4 to 6 feet over open waters. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In the extended forecast, much improved conditions tomorrow, but that trailing moisture plume with the system will continue to generate some showers across the northwest Bahamas. But we're looking for gradual improvement through the early part of next week. By middle of next week, we introduce some more showers in the forecast, but temperatures will be back to the warm to hot side, and those triple indices expected to be with us for the next several days. That's a look at our weather. Make it a safe night, everybody.
All right, thanks so much, Greg. Well, the journey to the University of the Bahamas was made a little easier for Isaac Ferguson, thanks to financial help from Deltec Bank's Initiative Foundation. The foundation has awarded scholarships in the past to students furthering their education, an important outreach initiative for the bank. Ferguson, who hails from Grand Bahama and moved to Andros following Hurricane Dorian, is the latest to benefit. He's studying architecture and went through 3 interviews as a part of the process.
Everybody was celebrating because that was it to them. Because within my life, my family never received such opportunities as this. And being one of the first ones within my family to receive an opportunity like this, it really was, like I said, a heartfelt moment. It really was a celebratory moment for us.
Head of Marketing and Communications at Deltec Bank, Janae Simonet and Candace Eldon from the University of the Bahamas say the partnership between the two companies is much needed.
And its mission is to give opportunity to the Family Island students by offering a $40,000 scholarship to the University of the Bahamas and mentorship over the 4 years of their post-secondary education. We feel that this is extremely important because Family Island students are typically left out of the opportunity pool, and it was important for us to really hone in on where we can add the most value and impact.
We are tremendously grateful to the Deltec Initiatives Foundation for connecting with the University of the Bahamas in 2019. The vision to bring together students that need help from Family Islands and giving them the opportunity to come to New Providence, get their education, have everything covered. What a blessing, because we've seen over the years the development of our students, the bright talent that comes from all over the archipelago.
All right, such great news. Well, it's not every day you hear or see Petra Haven, but in the world of sports, she's a critical piece to the puzzle. She spoke with our Sasha Lightborn after she was officially named a top 40 under 40 recipient over the weekend.
Meet Petra Haven. If you don't know who she is, just know this. She plays a key role for sports administration in the Bahamas. Haven, who serves as the executive director for the Bahamas Anti-Doping Commission, was recently recognized as a top 40 under 40 honoree by Professional Services Bahamas at Bahamar.
It's really great when you do some really good work. Sometimes people go unnoticed or, they're underrated. So it's really, really amazing. And it feels great to be recognized for the work that, that I've been doing, particularly in sports and as a woman in sports as well.
She says sports administrators don't often get recognized, so she was grateful for people to see her work and recognize her worth.
It felt really good to have my comrades there with me to celebrate and also be recognized, because there's a lot of things that we do. We give up our lives, essentially. Most people work 9 to 5s. We don't. We work 365. We work 24/7. And we really put our efforts and our all into it for the betterment of our country and for our athletes.
And Haven shared more about what her day-to-day work entails.
The Bahamas Anti-Doping Commission is responsible for testing and education. So it is our role to ensure clean sports throughout the Bahamas. So we test not only with swimming and track, but also, all the additional sports, anything that's represented under the Olympic umbrella. So in addition to testing, we also educate. It is our goal to ensure that we advise the general public the importance of clean sports, why it's important to participate clean. In addition to that, we build relationships not only with the federations, but we also build relationships with the parents and the coaches, because they're the ones that are supporting the athlete throughout their career, throughout their journey.
Now, when it comes down to the actual testing, Haven walked me and my cameraman Taran through the process. We will break that down for you in another report. Reporting for our news, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
All right, thanks so much for that, Sasha. And with that, we thank you for joining us for our news tonight on behalf of the entire team. I'm Natalia Hall. We'll see you tomorrow night. Have a great evening.